those people on YouTube who are saying all this stuff and making predictions, you're actually contributing to the fear. For us to change and for society to go in a different direction, what we really need to do is give those people the finger. I went on a day trip once and I was at a seaside kind of place, and there was a really old pet shop. Now, I love animals, so I went into this pet shop not wanting to buy a pet, but just to have a little look around. And I'd already had a dog and I already had a cat at the time, so the last thing I wanted was another animal. However, there was this black kitten, and this black kitten was, I don't know, it just pulled me in, and I needed to kind of rescue it, I thought, or buy it or something. There was some sort of, it's like, no, I don't want this kitten. Oh, I need to take this kitten home. So I ended up buying this kitten and I took it home. Now, the other cat got a little bit jealous of the kitten. It got perhaps a little bit more attention. And my dog at the time was really smitten with the kitten, and they got along famously, so that was okay. But the other cat, the cat that I had already, had wandered off. It didn't come home for a few days. And I knew that this kitten was getting too much attention, right? Maybe my other cat felt rejected, which I totally understand. However, one day I came home and there was a note at the door. And it said that your cat, the little kitten, I don't know how it managed to get down onto the road, but someone had actually hit it. And they said, it's at this vet, blah, blah, blah. Now, there was no part of me that thought that this cat would die from this incident. Now, I'm quite intuitive, and I just thought, wow, this cat is going to have so many lives and it will not die from this incident. I was so certain of it. Now, the reason that I was so certain of it is because when I saw the cat, I thought that there was a reason for it. I thought it was going to be in my life for a while, and yet I didn't expect it as a kitten, just like when I didn't expect myself to be struck by lightning, that, I would have that experience at that time. But with the kitten as well, I thought, no, this is going to live on. And what had happened was I was so certain of it. And I phoned the vet, and the vet's like, oh, it's in pretty serious condition. I'm like, no, she'll be right. Just fix her up. So I went to work, a couple of nights, whatever it was, and then got the call. The cat had died. The black kitten, which I was so sure was going to be a part of my life and my dog's best friend and my other cat's companion, had passed away. And I was absolutely gutted. But what it showed me was that no matter what my intuition is or what I thought the future was going to be, it doesn't mean it's going to unfold, in that way. And I really struggle with this when I see people who predict things on social media all the time. So you've seen them all, I'm sure. Like, the end of the world is coming, prepare yourself for this, prepare yourself for that. Donald Trump is going to be the next president. Donald Trump's not going to be the next president. Donald Trump will be the last president. World War III, when Donald Trump gets in. all this sort of shit. Now, whether that becomes true or not is irrelevant. What is relevant is how much energy we put into this stuff. And so what I'm asking you is have a look at the stuff that's on YouTube and wherever else, right? And this includes religion as well. Now, I know a lot about religion and predictions. The reason I do is because I studied it for like over 20 years. I studied cult behavior. I studied fear-mongering. I studied how people will get other people to follow what they say based on fear, based on predictions, based on clinging to an idea that if they adhere to God's word, then they will be safe. So that all comes back to fear again. Jehovah's Witnesses, for example, how many times, like seriously, have they predicted the end of the world, right? And yet they'll just change the narrative. You're not allowed to look at old light when they do that. So they can only look at new light, right? Because that's the message, the knowledge that God has passed through the Watchtower Society to those anointed men, right? And so they've got no hope. If your faith is that strong, whether it be in Jesus, whether it be in, Mother, which is the Watchtower Society, the Jehovah's Witnesses, whether it be Mormonism, it doesn't matter. Even if it's a political party, politics, religion, all that stuff, it's all the fucking same, right? If you follow dogma, then you're going to have issues, because what you're doing is just like, those people on YouTube who are saying all this stuff and making predictions, is you're actually contributing to the fear. For us to change and for society to go in a different direction, what we really need to do is give those people the finger, right? It's that simple. Say, you know what? Fuck you. I'm a grown person. I have intellect. What makes your intellect any more different to mine, other than you want to control people, or you have these issues, or you have this third generation of fear-mongering through some religious cult, or whatever it is, right? You've got control. So when it comes to predictions, they are dangerous. They are dangerous. They're dangerous to your health. They're dangerous to society. And it doesn't matter what level we're on, whether it's 5, 20 shifts or whatever it is, no matter what that is, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Because what really matters is where you are in this moment, and you're observing what people are saying, you're taking that information in, and you're like, does it resonate or does it not? It's up to you to decide that, not anyone else. So what I'm asking you to do is please stop living in fear and giving your power away to these people who have made so-called predictions. Because every single time a prediction fails, they actually get more followers, right? Religions have done this time and time again. Jehovah's Witnesses have done this, right? The 1914 generation will never die. They changed that because, well, quite frankly, the 1914 generation is dead, and they knew that was coming, so they changed it. But you're not allowed to look at that old light. You can only look at what they're saying now. Otherwise, you're in big shit, all right? So Yet, even though, and I think it was 1975 as well, like people went around and were witnessing everywhere, and people were selling their freaking houses, and giving their houses to the Watchtower Society through legal deeds as well, because 1975, it was the end of the world again. So it was best served that they went around door knocking and trying to save as many souls as possible. Of course, 1975 didn't happen. But there was some kind of, little trick. Oh, no, Jesus did arrive, but he was invisible. So there you go. We can make all these excuses. We can create an illusion that we've made predictions and they came true. And then in the end, we get more followers. I just want to put a little bit of an end note to this. Now, when I talk about predictions, I'm not talking about people who, I don't know, you might get people, I don't know if Bashar does predictions or whoever, but I'm not talking about channelers or that kind of stuff, although I do think a lot of them are fucking ridiculous, to be honest. But, I'm not saying that those kinds of people, or if they're into, I don't know, planetary shifts or whatever, because I honestly don't know anything about that. It's not my focus. My focus is on other stuff, so I really don't have as much interest as what some people do. However, you do hear things and you go, oh yeah, well, I can pull a little bit of that out and apply it to my life, or I can pull a little bit of that out and apply it to my life. I guess it's no different to, I don't know, you've got a health issue and you go and see a nutritionist, for example, right? And they'll tell you okay, well, this is happening to you because you're not getting enough nutrition in this or that or whatever. So think about changing your lifestyle and think about eating these foods and think about eliminating these foods. And the end result might be that you will feel better within yourself. That is not the same as someone saying to you, there is 21 days left. Quick, get your things in order. The big shift is coming. Oh no, we're in the big shift. Oh, this, that, the other, whatever, all right? It's not the same thing. Because when people tell you stuff like, oh, this energy is here, this energy is there, think about your life. Does this apply to you? Maybe it doesn't, but maybe this bit does, whatever. It makes you think about it. It makes you responsible for yourself. Once you hand your power over to someone who says, the end of the world is on this day, then you've lost all your power, right? You've given into fear. There is nothing for you to work with. And we always need something to work with if we are to move forward in a positive manner. Choice is so important to life. If you didn't have choice in your life, you'd be a vegetable, like full on, mentally, physically, you name it, right? So please, spiritually, of course, as well. So please don't give in to fear and don't give in to the narrative that, all this stuff's going to happen. You know what? It might. So fucking what, right? The more you put that energy out there, the more likely that it will happen, right? So that's how that works. Now, one more thing, just one more thing. If you do know of someone who is stuck in that situation, right? Please understand that for you to put energy into that is not going to benefit you as a person either. As a not so much as a person, but your energy could be more about, I know it's cliche, but lead by example, okay? And this is the mistake I made. I was so busy trying to prove people wrong that what it did was it was like a magnification of why they shouldn't say, or they shouldn't kind of, think about the things I was saying, because I was so down the line with stuff, right? And I was angry. And I guess, I could see things that they couldn't see, but at the same time, they saw things that I couldn't see. And the things that I couldn't see was that I appeared in a different way to what my heart condition was trying to, explain to them. And that's really important. So I know I get a bit passionate about some of this stuff, and hey, you haven't seen anything yet, because someone once asked me, what is your purpose in life? Why are you here? And I can honestly tell you, I think I know, but I'm not going to reveal it to you. Maybe not just yet anyway. But the more important thing is that I assemble this inner core, like this myself, all the fractured pieces of myself, and trying to deliver myself in a way that resonates with what my core beliefs are, without telling you what to do. Now, if you want to believe in my view, all the shit that people are talking about, if you want to live in fear, if you want to believe that World War III is just around the corner, if you want to believe that Donald Trump will be the next president, and then America will split into two, and there'll be a civil war, and then China's going to come in, right, and attack the US, and then the two sides of America that was split will come back and formulate into America again to fight China off. If you want to believe that that's World War III, if you want to believe all that, then go ahead and do that. Now, the reason that I even mentioned that, what I just did, was because that was in someone's NDE, a near-death experience. And so even if I saw that in a near-death experience, I don't think I would publicly say it as fact, because every NDE is different, just as every prediction is different, and if you want to believe that Jesus is your savior, then who's going to save you? Like, really, from believing in something that someone else has told you through generation after generation after generation, and yet there's no evidence of that. Who am I to tell you not to believe that? I'm not. We all have free will. Please do what you want with it, but also I'm just asking you to consider not living in fear. Don't let fear be the thing that motivates you to hate someone, to love someone, to have a hope of salvation, to have financial freedom, whatever it is. Live in the moment, love each other, and I'll see you another time. Okay, bye.